2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and got it? Great job, great job, great job. Now, let's talk about the other drums before we go to our homemade instruments. Thank you, Shaker and Clave. You're doing a wonderful job. We can't do it without you. So, we have the pre-tuned djembe. Notice it looks the same. It's an obbligato shape. At the top is wide, then it goes down slender. Alright? So whereas this djembe is pre-tuned, it doesn't have the ropes around it. Okay? So it still produces that high-pitched sound for the bass. So let's just do this drum with the new note. Eighth notes. Eighth notes equal 1/2 of a beat. And when we play the eighth notes, we add the word "and" around the numbers. So remember, this was our quarter note. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we add the word "and" around those numbers. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So on the drum, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The bass, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Or combine them, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's our djembe. Oh, we lost our stand, but fortunately it fits right back on it. So the other drum we learned about was the ashiko. Remember, we said the ashiko looks like an ice cream cone. Well, here's the unique thing about the ashiko. And I'll move the original djembe next to the manufactured djembe. The ashiko is from places in the central part of the continent of Africa. And its origin is from the Yoruba people. Now, you find Yoruba people in places like Nigeria and Benin. And the Yoruba is a culture and a religion. And this was the drum that they used in many of their gatherings, their ceremonies, their cultural experiences, ashiko. So remember our ashiko, and we're going to play the eighth note on it. So that's the mid-tone instrument. Unlike the djembes, they were able to reproduce all three of the sounds we talk about: bass, open, and slap, or gun, godo, and pata, like Babatunde, who's from Nigeria, taught us. So here's our ashiko. Now we're going to stick with that same note, our eighth note. So we're adding the word "and" around the numbers. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and alternate. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Awesome. Good job, boys and girls. You remembered the break. All right. So the other drum we learned about at our last lesson was our bass drum. Now the unique thing about the bass drum, it also has an African name in the drum ensemble. So most of our terms are in Swahili, boys and girls. Can you say Swahili? Swahili is the native tongue of the people on the western coast of Africa. Swahili is the terms that we often use and we've often learned because of the migration of the people from Africa to America. So the bass drum that we called at our last lesson is actually known as a junjun. So we said the djembe and the bass drum of the djembe ensemble is the junjun. The bass, 2, 3, 4. That's our whole note and our half note. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And our quarter note. 1, 2, 3, 4. And our new note, eighth note. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I just stopped on the downbeat because traditionally you don't play the break with the bass drum. The bass drum would answer the break. Like you've been clapping, here's the break. The bass drum answers. Got it? So that's our bass drum. So reviewing the names of our drums, We have the djembe, the ashiko, and the junjun, or the bass drum. Well, the other drum that we didn't get a chance to hear much of from our last lesson is the tubano. The tubano. Everybody say tubano. Almost. So it's a unique sound because it's a unique instrument that was actually created by the company in America called Remo. Remo is a wonderful friend of Mr. Dinkins. And Remo created this instrument that we call the tubano. And the tubano is a tubular-shaped instrument, and it's a hand drum. So it has a low and a mid-range pitch. Now you can have tubanos that are different sizes, and of course here's something unique. I want you to repeat this after me. Most percussion instruments, their pitches or sounds are based on their size. So repeat this with me. The smaller the drum, the higher the pitch. The larger the drum, the lower the pitch. Okay? So most sounds or properties of sound are going to be lows, mids, and highs. Whether you're singing or playing a percussion instrument or even playing a metallophone like a cymbal or some bells. You know, you have the low bars and the high bars. So the larger the bar, the lower the pitch. The smaller the bar, the higher the pitch. So, on our tubano, let's play our eighth notes. Don't forget, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Very good, my young people. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Awesome. Now we're going to get our shaker and clave player back with us, and we're going to play all the notes on the tubano. But let's make it fun. Let's make it fun. On our tubano, there's a rhythm that we can play, and we're going to do it on our boxes and our bucket. We'll even try it on a chair. It's called bass tone bass. See that? Bass is the center, tone is the edge. Very important when we get a drum in your hand that you know the different places to strike on it. But let's think about it if it was the box. When we talked about the box, the top would be my tone, the back would be my bass. So, and you play it the same way you say it. Bass tone bass, 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 bass tone bass. That's an eighth note. So I'm thinking 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Bass tone bass, bass tone bass, bass tone bass, bass tone bass. All right? Now, what if you have a smaller box? I do. So notice, this is a larger box, this is a smaller box. Now, I can play this box there or on the top. Not quite getting the maximum sound. What makes the sound echo on a percussion instrument is when the back side or the bottom has a hole in it. So why don't we take the top off our box? Bam, open side. Put it back over there, or even if you take a box and you just fold it back. So now I can hear more of the bass and more of an open tone. So here we go. Bass tone bass, bass tone bass, bass tone bass, bass tone bass. I'll put it between my legs so I can control it a little better. And let's turn it with I'm gonna have to play it with the open side facing me, or I can play with the open side at the bottom. Great idea. Who said that? I appreciate you. So here's my bass, here's my tone. Let me move my tubano out of the way so you can see me strike it. Very interesting. I got a lower bass sound on the outside and a higher pitch on the top. So when you play your box, experiment so you know where the sounds are. That's my bass tone bass. Bass tone bass, bass tone bass, bass tone bass, bass tone bass. Got it. Oh wow, you guys are doing great. You're very creative. That's the most important thing about the joy of music and the fun of making rhythms. We have to use our creativity. In Swahili, that is kuumba. You have to use your kuumba, your creativity. So, let's go back and look at our bucket with the sticks, not with our hands. And so, when I grip the bucket, I'm going to take it slightly off the ground, and I can hear the bass. And the edge gives me my open tone, or the high-pitched sound. So let's do the bass tone bass. And get fancy. Bass tone bass, 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 and the bass tone bass. You remember it. Thank you. That was the break. So, with our shaker and our bucket, we're going to go through all of the notes. So today we learned about the eighth note. At our previous lesson, we learned about the whole note, half note, quarter note. So, on our bucket with the sticks, let's start playing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. That's our whole note. Half note. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Quarter note. 1, 2, 1, 2. 8 notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2. Quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Half notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Whole notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And the break. Very good. Gosh, you guys are awesome. You're amazing. You're amazing. You're so amazing that I know you can learn a new note. Are you ready? Are you ready? The 16th note. So now I need 2 sticks. So let's use our trusty ashiko. When we counted the value of the 8th note, we talked about the stick cutting a circle in half. So what is half of a half? A fourth. How did you know that? You must like money. You know there's 4 quarters in a dollar. So that's a quarter, right? So there's 4 parts of 1, or 4 parts of a dollar, or 4 quarters in a dollar. Thus our 16th notes. So now with our 16th notes, we have to add 2 more syllables around the 1 and the and. We're going to add the E and the Those are vowels for my scholars. I know you guys that love English know the difference between a vowel and a consonant. Consonant, excuse me, not a continent like Africa. A consonant. So now, 1 E and a. Now it's got to be real fast. If I can get my shaker and clave just to stop for me for a minute, because I want you to really hear the syllables of the 16th note. 1 E and a. 1 E and a. On our ashiko, 1 E and a. Now, you know what we haven't done? Because some of us may not have a box. We may not have a bucket. We may not have sticks. But we got a chair. It may not be a fancy chair like this one, but we got a chair at home that we can play on. So I'm just going to lean it a little bit so I can have access to it like this. Or I can leave it flat if we're playing on the couch. You know, either one. So here we go. So here's our 16th note. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. The difference between that note and the 8th note is different. Because the 8th note is 2 parts of 1, whereas the 16th note is 4 parts of 1. Or when I'm counting the 8th note, I'm saying 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. When I'm I'm doing the 16th note, I'm saying 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. Got it? I'm going to do it again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. Those are our notes. The difference between the 8th note and the 16th note. Now let's use our trusty pointer or our stick. Here was our 8th note. That's 2. 1/2. 1 over 2. 2 parts of 1. 1/2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Here's our 16th notes. That's 1/16 notes or 4 of them tied together. 4 parts of 1 or 1/4. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. So, come on, Shake and Clave, play along with us. And I'm going to stick on the chair because I hadn't done much on the chair at today's lesson. So here's our tempo. Good job, Clave. That's the downbeat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1E and a. 1E and a. That's one beat. 1E and a 2E and a. 1E and a 2E and a. Or faster. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. Wow, can you do that? It's hard to say, but move your hands fast. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E, 3 and a 4E and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Excellent. Whole notes. 3, 4, half notes, quarter notes, 8th notes, 16th notes. Wow, who did it? Good job. I'm so impressed with you. Man, we've had a great lesson today. We've had a great lesson. We added our 8th notes and our 16th notes around the 3 previous notes we learned, which was the whole note, half note, quarter note, 8th note, and now the 16th note. So, I want to end today's lesson by teaching you a new song. First of all, at the beginning of our lesson today, we learned the welcome song in Swahili, Funga Alafia. So to end today's lesson, we're going to learn the music.